Hey everybody, welcome to Brick Vault, and today we have the LEGO TIE Advanced X1. This is Darth Vader's prototype, and this fighter is inarguably the best one that came from the Empire, at least during the original trilogy movies. Like the rest of these LEGO MOCs you see here, the TIE Advanced was designed by the incredibly talented builder Jarek. Like always, he included some very subtle and really fun details in this MOC, and you can find the instructions at our web store, www.brickvault.toys, where included is a PDF file that has step-by-step instructions for easy building, as well as an XML parts list file that makes it a lot faster for ordering the pieces that you're going to need for the build online. Now, jumping back into the MOC itself, the TIE Advanced is, by the name of it, the most advanced fighter from the Empire, coming equipped with a hyperdrive system, a deflector shield generator, and had the ability to hold secondary weapons, had a stronger hull, and a more effective solar ionization reactor. But blah, 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 blah. This is just a really cool looking ship. It scales just in line with the rest of the original trilogy fighters that came out from Jarek. And before anybody asks, yes, you can fit Darth Vader into the cockpit. You just gotta take off a couple of those pieces in the front in order to do so. Gotta say, this thing looks pretty cool with two ties on either side of the fighter because it totally imitates the trench run. And also, why not T-Rexes? Okay, let's get into some of the more specific build design details of this model. As some of you might be able to guess, the designer Jarek pores over the specific details of each of the models that he works on, and to say he's dedicated to accuracy is very much an understatement. Here's my favorite bit of building that was added to this model to give it just a slight edge, just a slight curve in a place where I don't think most people would have noticed initially, but once you see it, it's so awesome. This dish in the back that makes up sort of this half circle that connects towards the hyperdrive, that is that center column that you can see there, has just the slightest downward curve. When you look very closely, you can see that it's not actually running perfectly level with the hyperdrive column in the back, but instead just leans down ever so slightly, and in fact does stud into that column in the middle. When you look at this graphic of the TIE Advanced, you can indeed see a curved bit of line that moves down the center of the column there, and that's because the dish, or the disc, I suppose, thins out and curves both downwards and upwards from either side of the model. That is such an intricate and subtle and complex bit of building to add what I think most people might not even initially notice. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys didn't see it at first either. The design behind it feels somewhat straightforward after you see what it is. There's a couple of hinges that attach the back of the discs, and then the dish itself does indeed stud into the back column, which has a really, really solid bit of anchoring in there, and that's very easy to handle. In fact, you can pick up this build from pretty much any angle. You can even hold it by the hyperdrive. That's probably one of the strongest points. And then the dish itself, believe it or not, that should be the weakest part of the build. In maybe certain cases, it might actually be, but you can still hold the entire weight of the model from there, which is awesome. The TIE Advanced can be held by either of the wings. And then just like any of the other TIE Fighter models, you can slide the entire build back and forth just by pushing it, hooking onto any one of the wings. The solid build design really makes this very easy to handle, and you don't have to treat it gingerly like maybe some other highly detailed MOCs of your own. Also, one of the very nice design points from this build is the fact that there are no studs on the wings. It looks cooler, I think. It also feels a bit more accurate compared to what we see from the actual models of the fighters in the movie. And Jarek has figured out a way to not only make this look cool, but it's also a very, very strong design, as you just saw. According to the lore of the TIE Advanced X1, it basically was too expensive for the Empire to mass produce, and eventually they created something that had similar design properties but just much easier and cheaper to make, and that was the TIE Interceptor. I believe the inspiration of the kinked in wings was part of it, but you can see that the dimensions of the bomber wings changes quite a bit when you compare them with the Advanced, and that's because I think there was just a different kind of model designer working on the TIE Bomber for the last film. But oh yeah, getting back into the Advanced, the other last build design design choice that I think really works for this, and I don't see other builders or even on the Ultimate Collector Series TIE Advanced, I don't think they quite got this dimension right, and that is the sharp corner that makes up the arms that come out towards the front of the Advanced right on either side of the cockpit. You can see Jarek really did make a nice, almost seamless line really between both ends of the shoulder piece there, and it's just a detail that I believe makes the front of the model look particularly great, especially when you start comparing them once again to some of the other, or maybe all of the other MOCs or sets that I've seen come out from LEGO. Anyways, that is going to be it for this episode, everybody. Once again, the instructions and XML parts file are being sold at our web store, www.brickvault.toys. All of the original TIE fighters have now been completed. I think they look great together. Jarek has really knocked these designs out of the park. And if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. All right, that is it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time at Brick Vault.